So when you hear the word wit, what's the first thing that pops into your head? A really sharp comeback, maybe? Or just a clever joke? Well, what if I told you it's actually a kind of superpower, a tool for solving some of our toughest, most emotionally charged problems? We're going to dive into a story that shows how true wit isn't just about being funny. It's about something way deeper, a real understanding of what makes people tick.
All right, to really get a feel for what we're talking about with wit, let's do a quick brain warm-up. See, a huge part of wit is just looking at things from a totally different angle. So let's kick things off with a little riddle. Okay, take a second and really think about this. What's something that is always right in front of you, but you can never, ever see it? It's right there. The answer's actually a lot simpler than you'd think.
It's the future, of course. And that little riddle, that's exactly what wit does. It helps us see the simple, obvious truth that was hiding in plain sight the whole time. So hang on to that idea, the truth hidden in plain sight, because it is the absolute key to this incredible story we're about to get into, about a king, a queen, and a problem that seemed totally impossible to solve.
Okay, let's jump in our time machine and head way back to the golden age of one of South India's greatest empires, the Vijayanagara Empire. This is where we meet a really powerful, celebrated king who, for all his wisdom and might, is dealing with a very personal, very human problem.
So here he is, King Krishna Deva Raya. Now, this guy reigned during an incredible time of cultural and artistic growth. I mean, he was known all across the land for his power, for sure, but also for his great wisdom.
I mean, just look at this list. He wasn't just some king sitting on a throne. He was a top-notch warrior, a huge supporter of learning and the arts, and even a talented poet himself. Basically, a true Renaissance man of his era. But, as we're about to find out, even the most impressive leaders have their moments of, being human. And that human side, it really came out when he got into an argument with his queen over something pretty minor. But he got so worked up about it that he just stopped talking to her completely. For weeks, the entire palace was under this dark cloud of silence, and the queen, as you can imagine, was absolutely heartbroken.
So, with the whole palace feeling completely out of whack and every attempt she made to fix things failing, the queen turned to the one person she thought just might be able to find a way through this mess.
And here he is, Tenali Rama, the hero of our story. Now, he was a well-known poet in the king's court, for sure. But what he was really famous for was his unbelievable wit. This was the guy you went to when you had a problem that seemed to have absolutely no solution. And this right here is what made him so good at what he did. When the queen came to him begging for help, he didn't just crack a quick joke. Nope. He was thoughtful. He knew this whole situation was super delicate, and that real wit, it's not just about being clever on the spot. It's about strategy. It's about careful planning.
So after taking some time to think it all through, Tenali Rama comes up with a truly one-of-a-kind plan. Let's head over to the royal court and watch how he puts this masterful and, slightly bizarre strategy into action.
Okay, picture this. Tenali Rama walks right up to the king in front of the entire court, and the king is still, obviously, in a terrible mood. Then, Tenali makes this absolutely wild claim about some revolutionary new seeds that he says can triple the kingdom's harvest. I mean, can you just feel the tension and the pure confusion in that room?
Right away, the other courtiers just start laughing at him. You can hear them whispering, making sarcastic jokes. I mean, to them, this whole thing sounds completely ridiculous, right? Just some desperate ploy to get on the king's good side. And the king? Oh, he is not having any of it. He's still fuming about his fight with the queen, and he just shoots the whole idea down as nonsense, listing off all the reasons it would never work. At this point, it looks like Tenali's plan is just crashing and burning.
But then, Tenali makes his move. The pivot. He actually agrees with the king, but then he adds this one little twist, this mysterious condition. And just like that, nobody's talking about the seeds anymore. Suddenly, it's all about the person who's supposed to plant them. And now he's got everyone's attention.
And this, my friends, is where we see the absolute genius of this plan come together. This is the moment where a simple, everyday observation about people is used to totally reframe the king's problem without ever saying a word about it directly.
The king is totally hooked. His curiosity has now completely pushed aside his anger. He just roars at Tenali. Get to the point. What's wrong with the person who sows the seeds? And boom,
The bait is taken.
And here comes the masterstroke, laid out with such simple, perfect logic. Tenali explains that to get this amazing harvest, the person planting the seeds must not, under any circumstances, yawn. Because if they do, they'll scatter the seeds all wrong. And then he drops the final, brilliant question. Who in the entire world doesn't yawn? It's as natural as breathing, right?
And in that single moment, you can almost see the light bulb go on over the king's head. It all just clicks. His mind flashes back to that argument. He remembers he was reciting one of his poems to the queen, and she yawned.
And there it is. The king finally gets it. The problem was never the queen's yawn. It was how he saw it. He took a completely natural human thing, a yawn, and turned it into a personal insult. And the most incredible part? Tenali fixed the whole thing without ever even saying the queen's name.
So what can we take away from this brilliant bit of historical problem solving? I mean, how can we use this same kind of thinking in our own lives when we get into our own arguments?
What Tenali Rama did here is basically a masterclass in what you might call stealth psychology. Think about it. He didn't march in and confront the king. No way. Instead, he created a whole scenario that forced the king to confront himself. He didn't lecture him. He told a story that built a bridge of empathy. This isn't just being witty. This is emotional intelligence on a whole other level. So, here's the thought I want to leave you with. The next time you're heading into a tough conversation, try to channel a little of that Tenali Rama energy. Don't get ready for a fight. Instead, try to find that clever story, that different perspective, that simple truth that's just hiding in plain sight. Because in the end, the most powerful solutions aren't the ones we force on people. They're the ones they discover all by themselves.